There was a line in the movie that said, "The truth, you can't handle the truth." And it made me think about reparations. You don't deserve reparations. Reparations for what? What? Why? It didn't happen to you. You don't deserve no reparations. And for those of you who might be a little bit out of the loop, reparations basically means it's repayment for the injustices that happened to black folk, especially during slavery. So I can go real deep. When the Japanese were put in internment camps during the war, they got paid. I can't say the same thing about Native Americans. They got the worst end of the deal. Other than they didn't actually they were enslaved too, but they didn't make good slaves because they knew the land they could run away. And tip my hat off to those that actually helped out black slaves as they had a chance to find their freedom. But reparations, that has come up, and especially with this current occupant and administration, they don't want nothing to do with anything that has anything that puts black folks ahead. So reparations is just basically a repayment for some of the ugly stuff that happened to black folks. And they say, well, you don't really deserve it because you haven't had to enduring anything. We did this all by ourselves. And with that in mind, there's a township that's being built that's all white, and they said, we just want to do this. I'll show you that it can be done by yourself, and you can do it by yourselves. We don't need anybody of color from the outside, especially black folks. But just a little bit of rundown. So black folks have done it in the past, and every time they got to get started, they were burnt out or destroyed. Colfax massacres. Let's look at some massacres. Colfax, 1873, a white militia massacred African or Black Americans members who were attempting to surrender. I mean, they were trying to just, okay, we're going to let go. They massacred them. Wilmington coup was a massacre in 1898. White supremacists violently overthrew a multiracial city in Wilmington, North Carolina, and massacred folks. The massacre means to unalive. East St. Louis race riots, 1917. It was an outbreak of violence ignited by labor and race-related tensions that resulted in the deaths of many, many black folks. Slocum massacre, 1910. White mob massacred black residents in and around Slocum, Texas, leading to the deaths of as many as 200 black folks. Rosewood, that's one most of us know about. Rosewood, 1923. And that wasn't that long ago. We still have people alive today that were around for that. White mob attacked and burned down a predominantly black American town of Rosewood in Florida, resulting in the deaths of many, many residents. It destroyed the town. And this is the biggest one that we hear about. 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. Violent mob attacked and destroyed a predominantly black-built and black-run town. Do we deserve reparations? And if we got them, what would we do with them? A few years back, during the height of the COVID outbreak, there was some COVID relief checks that were distributed. And I remember during that time, it just so happened that my phone, I didn't want a new phone. My phone, it just went on the fritz. It did not work right anymore. So I went to the local cellular telephone distributor and I said, I need a new phone. My phone's not working and it's not working. He goes, well, we're kind of out of phones. I'm like, out of phones? He goes, yeah, because people got their checks. And he was kind of hinting that, who got all new phones and upgraded the phones. It was mostly the minority and poor community. I'm like, really? Well, I guess my phone's going to have to wait. And as I'm leaving the store, I'm driving down the street and I drive past the local Pew Pew shop, the shop where they sell arms. There was a line going from the front door all the way around the back of the building. A line of people waiting to get into the Pew Pew shop where you buy Pew Pews. They were buying you know what, and they didn't look like me. So it makes you think. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy a pew pew, but I'm saying if you did get a reparation, what would you do with it? Or maybe it could be offered in the form of land, maybe a house, maybe free college. Would you take advantage of that? Many things come into play. Many hands could be played and laid out. However, is it going to happen? I'm pretty sure. Unfortunately, I have to pop your balloon. Pop. Ain't gonna happen, especially with the current administration and what's going on. But it's an interesting thought. So do me a favor, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.